Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to an impromptu episode of the Hughes Sports Podcast. I am your host, Jake Hughes, alongside normally the old man. He will be here shortly. We are getting ready to react live to the Vancouver Canucks major announcement. Everyone's presumably aware of what is happening with the announcements of new President Hockey operations. Let's take it there now.
About the future. It's a great day as we turn the page and begin an exciting new chapter for the Vancouver Canucks. I'll formally introduce our new management team in a moment, but first I want to say a few thank yous. First, I want to say thank you to Jim Rutherford, who answered the call to come to Vancouver 4 years ago. Jim had an immediate impact, leading the team to within one game of the conference finals. And while that trajectory changed due to unexpected personnel challenges, Jim leaves us with a roster of promising young players and numerous draft picks. The rebuild is underway. I'd also like to thank Patrick Alvin. Patrick is a terrific person, and we appreciate all his efforts here, and we wish him the best on his future moves. Most importantly, I want to say thanks to our loyal fans who supported the Canucks through a very difficult season. I share in your disappointment. We expect to be better, need to be better, and we will be better. We are 100% committed to rebuilding the roster into a championship caliber team. We're excited about our young players, our future picks we will add, including the third pick overall in this year's draft. Every expert agrees that we'll get a terrific player with this selection. And now, for today's exciting announcement. The last couple of weeks, I've been discussing with Daniel and Henrik how to expand their roles within the organization. When Jim announced last week that he wanted to accelerate his timeline to step away from the day-to-day duties, I went back to Henrik and Daniel and asked if they would take on co-presidents' roles of hockey operations. And I'm thrilled they said yes, and here we are today. Henrik and Daniel bring passion, hockey knowledge, leadership qualities, requires to create a winning culture that will guide us and align our hockey group going forward. For the past 26 years, Daniel and Henrik have dedicated their entire professional hockey careers to Vancouver. Whether as players or in various management positions, they've always committed themselves to excellence. As remarkable in their ongoing heartfelt commitment to giving back to our community, in everything we've asked of them and everything they have given to us, they have made us stronger. We couldn't be happier that they have now agreed to take on the top hockey role. It's my great pleasure to welcome Ryan Johnson as the 13th General Manager of the Vancouver Canucks. It is well known we conducted an exhaustive search for a new GM, as you all know. Of course, we knew Ryan was our top internal candidate from the beginning, but the organization wanted to leave no stone unturned in searching for the best person for the job. The due diligence allowed Henrik and Daniel to make the choice between the best external candidate or Ryan.
Are we surprised?
Ryan, we are thrilled that Henrik and Daniel have selected you as the GM they want to work with.
Not at all. We'll get into it after the Francesco's remarks here.
Daniel, Henrik, and Ryan, you have the full support of ownership. We will provide you with all the resources you need to succeed. And finally, to our fans, we appreciate this rebuild will require patience.
Whoa.
But we will ice a team that competes hard every night. Rebuilding and competing hard are not mutually exclusive.
Wow.
And that, I'd like to invite Daniel, Henrik.
Dude,
Ryan
he said the word.
Do a little photo op. Get the jerseys.
Holy crack.
So so it does look like Daniel and Hank and Ryan are going to have media availability.
Yeah.
But
Looks like
Francesco's
there's
not.
microphones there.
Yeah, but that might be just a permanent setup. I don't know how their media
Could
room
very
set up.
well be. Daniel and Henrik get their old jerseys back. What numbers are there?
It just says 26 for 2026.
Ow. I'm not putting that on. So, thoughts? Good.
I think it's good. I think okay, yeah, they are going to get ready for press conference, so I think it's good. I think it'll be interesting to see the reporting structure, to see if they, I know they'll be asked about it, but to see what that's going to be.
My God.
Yeah. Wow.
Got the mic.
So Sedins are co-presidents.
First off, we want to express our sincere condolences to the family and friends of John Garrett and Ernie Punch McLean.
Classy
I want to
man.
thank ownership Francesco and Roberto Aquilini for this incredible opportunity. When they came to us with their vision and the plan for the next upcoming years, we got very excited. We spent 26 years in this amazing city. We were drafted in 1999 and played 17 unforgettable seasons alongside some of our best friends, teammates and staff. In 2018, we became part of this very spirited fan base in the city. We were fans for 3 years before we came back in a management role. We then turned into player development, we're part of a little bit of scouting, coaching, so we've seen a lot of different aspects of this organization. Every successful team we've been a part of had values, cornerstones that could answer one question: why are we here and what do we stand for? 3 words that we will live by: connected, committed, and purpose. We want to reestablish the connection from top to bottom within this organization, but also in the community, to this fan base, and to the city of Vancouver and the province of BC. And we have a clear vision that will connect us to be sustainable winning culture. To be a Vancouver Canuck, you must be fiercely committed to making this one of the world's leading organizations. We expect everyone to be committed to leaving this organization better than they found it. Everything we do, we will operate with intent every day, and that purpose will form people to excel under pressure. And now, it is our great pleasure to welcome someone who shares these values and will help drive this vision forward. We're proud to name Ryan Johnson as the 13th General Manager of the Vancouver Canucks.
Thank you, guys. Thank you all for being here. I also want to thank Francesco, Roberto Aquilini for this opportunity, Daniel and Henrik, Jim Rutherford, Patrick Alvin, who guided me along the last 4 years, and forever grateful for the opportunity to watch and learn alongside. To the fans of Canuck fans throughout the province, in our community, obviously came here as 2 years as a player and been here almost 13 in this position, or within the organization. But the fan
Didn't realize
base
it was that long.
means a lot to me and the two
He's been here
guys
for
beside
4
me. I think
different,
that's a
like
big
this is the
reason why
4th
we're
different
sitting here
regime he's been a part
today.
of now.
I'd also like to thank all the people at Rogers Forum, the Abbotsford Canuck organization, the coaches, the trainers, the players. I truly wouldn't be sitting here without going through that journey with them. So everybody out there, and also the fans of the Fraser
He
Valley,
looks like a hockey
and the
guy.
journey we went on of starting an organization there and where we sit
What
today.
does
know what
that
I mean?
mean?
Very proud of all those
No,
people
what does that
and their
mean?
commitment to
He just
us.
looks like
Thank
there's
you very
certain
much.
people that just look like a hockey guy.
Start with some questions beforehand.
The Sedins look like hockey guys.
Charlie
Like, look at the
Twins,
3 of them. They look
and
like hockey
what
guys.
you've done in terms of on the ice and player development and things like that in the last couple of years, it's a big jump to go from that to president.
Yeah.
What is it that gives you the confidence that you've got the skill set and the support to
Wow.
do that? And also, where do you
Tough
think
questions.
your blind spots might be? Where you might need to build out in the organization to make sure it's what you need to be a complete group?
I think it's a strength that we've been a part of all aspects of the organization. I think we see what's needed. I think we know the strength of this organization. Obviously, moving forward with all the prospects, draft picks, player development is going to be a huge part of this journey. So that's obviously one thing we're looking to make better. So yeah, as a player, we know the fans, we know what they want, we know you guys. I think we can have an honest discussion with you guys, and so I think it's just a positive to have been a part of everything. Like I said, we've been fans too, so it's we see it from all different sides.
Ryan, similar question for you. You've been in the organization for a long time. You haven't had the top job yet. You've learned good and bad from a number of different GMs and people along the way. What makes you believe you're ready?
Well, I think my journey here has been very organic. I started as a consultant with Mike Gillis and Stan Smeal and that group, and so I've spent a lot of time very early just listening, spending a lot of time observing, just as it is a player, trying to take in information. And as you go from development and into managing an AHL team and working with amateur staffs and pro staffs and then being GM of it, it's been an organic journey. So I haven't jumped the line. I've got to know specifically, and one thing I'm proud of is one organization for a long time.
And he's earned it, really.
A lot of people in
Yes,
there
100%.
and have worked very closely with. So I think that journey, I never had an agenda to work my way. I just wanted to do good work, do it with good people, and it's led me to this.
Yeah, Henrik and Daniel, I mean, from the outside, it feels like there was a lot of people to talk to, maybe an evolving picture of how this would happen. From your perspective, how did getting to this point happen? When did you guys first sort of be approached, and what were the conversations about?
Well, I think ownership came to us when it became clear that Jim was going to step away a little bit, and we had a lot of great discussions with them where they saw this going. They did a very big search for the next GM, and we stepped in, and they gave us two very good candidates, one external and one internal, and it was up to us to make the decision. So
Interesting. Okay.
That's how the timeline was.
And Ryan, I mean, Jim mentioned your name off the top. We were aware that, you were a guy that he maybe preferred. But from your perspective, what was almost like the elevator pitch? What did you have to present from yourself to say, this is why I want the job?
Well, I think it's hard when you're presenting to people that know you very well. It's a different approach. I do want to say,
Is that a suntan he's got, or is he just red-faced?
Went on. I think
Probably a
people asked,
suntan.
were you disappointed? There
Looks
was
like it,
process.
eh?
I think
Looks like
the
he's been in
fans,
Hawaii
I
or
think
something.
The ownership, everybody.
I believe he
deserved,
has a residence in
to go through
Nashville.
a process,
Oh,
do
okay.
the due diligence, and make sure. So I was very thankful that there was an abundance of people talked to that went through many stages of the process, and to come out where we sit today. I'm grateful that they did that and went through that process, and it makes this transition, I think, better for me.
Makes sense.
I have one for Henrik, and I have one for Daniel. Henrik, you mentioned culture. You were part of it as a player. You and your brother had a lot to do with bringing young players along, especially rookies. It's kind of been waning here the last couple of years. As presidents, how can you affect the culture to get it to a point where it needs to be and sustainability?
Well, there's gonna, and Ryan is a big part of that too. There's got to be, we got to show up every day and lead by example. Culture is huge. You cannot win without it. That's impossible. And you cannot be sustainable without it. I think you'll see when this moves on and there's a process to everything, and you build something good, you will win a lot of the trades you make, and you will bring in free agents that are overperforming that where they maybe you expect. So for us, the culture piece is our main thing to fall back on over the next little bit. That's
Good. I like that answer.
Starting with us, we got to come in every day, and we got to show up, and we got to do the things that took us to this position, and that's same as players. Preparation, and that gives us confidence that we can step into this role. Is that we?
Hey,
we are
Jason and
prepared.
Red Deer.
And, we're going to do everything it takes to.
I'm
to
in
do this
North
job well. And
North
I think,
Alberta, and it is
it has
windy
a
and rainy
trickle-down
today.
effect
So
when
I think
if
it's
we can show.
windy everywhere.
Daniel, I know you
I'm
and your
in
brother
southern
love being on the ice. The
Saskatchewan, and
players
it's been
often talk
windy
about
for
how
the
much
last
they've gained just
15
from those
hours.
little pointers that they've got when you guys are actually on the ice, but not a lot of precedents go on the ice. Are you going to be able to maintain that aspect, or are you going to have to delegate to somebody else in player development to be on the ice? with
My
the players?
answer will be shorter than Hank's. I mean, that's a no. Like I said, we have to, development is going to be huge moving forward. So we have to get people in there that want to do the work and want to do what's best for this organization. And our job, along with Ryan and his staff, is to find those people, because it is going to be a big part moving forward for the next few years.
Nice.
Hi, guys. Ryan, maybe a question for you. Can you talk about what a timeline might look like for a rebuild going forward?
Oh,
I
great
think
question.
To put any type of timeline on it is unfair to the process. I think it's more about building the environment first, is making sure that the staples are there, the things that we believe in, creating an environment where, a safe environment where players can improve, can make mistakes, that have resources. But we're going to do this step by step, and we're not going to race through it. We're going to be very strategic with everything we do. We're going to be aligned with everything we do, so that we know as a group we are sticking to the vision that was talked about in May of 2026, and not ever get outside of that vision. And I think if we stick to that, we do it correctly, and we have the right people, the right leadership, and the right environment here consistently every day. There's no doubt in our minds that we will take the steps to get to where we want to go.
And Henrik and Daniel, a question for you guys.
we'll get
I'm
to that in
wondering
just
about
one
the
second,
division of
Jason.
duties, not only between the two of you, but between the front office in general, and whether there may be other personnel changes, other people coming out or coming in.
This is what I want to
in the
know.
next little while.
Yes.
I think it's very early. This is the first day on the job, and I can speak to between me and Daniel. I think it's a strength that it is two of us. There won't be any secrets between us. We're gonna divide the work we have to do, and I think you'll get more out of every day when there is two of us. So that's going to be, I think, a strength of ours.
So sorry, just to clarify, does Ryan report to the two of you gentlemen, and then who do you two gentlemen report to?
We report to owners.
To owners?
Yeah.
And is that Francesco specifically, or?
That's ownership, yes.
Right. How do you view
I like the clarity, though.
this challenge, right? Beyond the player development and the culture stuff, in terms of the big picture strategy of taking the 32nd place NHL team to first with the cap going up, how do you think through what's going to be required?
I think they're going to repeat
terms
themselves a
of
lot here now.
Selling off additional veterans and sort of
I was
making
thinking
some of
after
those
this question,
decisions to
we'll
accumulate
wrap up
additional
and
cash
share our
flows. I'll put that to
thoughts.
Ryan.
Yeah, well, there's only so many players, right? And cap going up, it's not the days of cap crunch teams. Now there's money to spend, there's only so many players. So that is where our vision is, to build through the draft. Obviously, we've got 10 picks right now in this year's draft, just finishing our amateur meetings. Those are going to be massive selections in this process. But
10 picks right
will
now.
there be things we'll do strategically to add to our draft pool? Absolutely. And that's stuff that we will talk about. But we want to do it right. We want to, provide a group that's here that we kind of believe in, with the right people around them, make sure our environment is sharp, and our environment is actually where, because if we get away from that at any point, then we're off our vision. And that's one thing. Everything that we will do will be talked about, we will be aligned, and we will move forward. We will not shoot off the hip or get away from that at any point. And I think if we're consistent with that, we've got a good opportunity to step by step to get to where we want to be.
Hey guys, congrats.
Okay, I said after Trans's question there, we were going to wrap it up.
Awesome.
But yeah, basically the announcement that was known probably I think a day ago, maybe two. My days are all messed up because I'm working nights right now. So, but the official announcement is that the Sedins are new co-president of hockey operations, or if you like me and you like alliteration or things that sound alike, co-poho. And Ryan Johnson.
Oh, stop. I'm going to call that. That's just horrible.
Well, people call it like president of hockey operations poho. So they're co-poho.
That's just horrible.
I wonder if they live in Poco, because then they could be co-poho from Poco.
Oh my goodness.
So
and they are co-hockey, they're presidents of hockey operations.
And then they announced the 13th general manager in Canucks history, Ryan Johnson, who I think was kind of the front runner from the very beginning. But I still think
happy.
No.
I didn't think you would be. It's impossible to make this kid happy, folks.
Because there's on Canucks Talk with Drance and Jamie Dodd, they always talk about you can't get pre-mad. If you can't get pre-mad, you can't get pre-happy. You can't be mad about losing the lottery draft until you lose a lottery draft. You can't be happy until you know what this organization is going to look like and what their vision is going to be.
Yes.
So I think it's a sign of the right it's pointing in the right direction, I think is the words I'm looking for.
Yeah.
But I want to see what that looks like.
I guess that was my question to you. Are you happy with the having the Sedins in their position and Ryan Johnson over Gold? Because that's really the two names that were there.
Yeah, so and even the Sedins even mentioned that when they were brought in, they were given the two candidates.
Yes.
They're given Gold an external candidate and Johnson.
How long before they announced Chris Knobloch as the head coach? Not going to happen. I think see it.
When it comes to Gold, I think the big thing was if Gold was to come in, it would have been basically a complete reset.
Yes.
Where this is more of what we already know to a degree.
Which is kind of what we wanted when we talked about what we want from this rebuild is don't make a bunch of trades and bring in superstars. Don't sell the farm to bring in a McDavid. We don't want that.
No.
That's not what we're looking for because David has 3-4 years left in him. His prime.
Yeah.
What do we want? We want exactly what Johnson just said.
A long-term
rebuild could go to wherever it wants. We only have X amount of players. So we have to build the players through our draft. That's what we've been saying all season is we need to promote from within. We need to get them into the Abbotsford system and then bring them into the Canucks system. Ryan Johnson, I think, is a perfect person to be in his position if he gets to work closely with whoever takes over as GM of the Abbotsford Canucks now.
Well, and he'll get to choose that, right? Like that's his decision to be made,
right?
Obviously, with the Sedin sign off of it. I think it was really important that Drance had the follow up just to clarify that Johnson was reporting to the Sedins, because when the rumors first started coming out was that the Sedins were going to be hired in an elevated role in hockey operations. It was, well, they're not going to have the final say. They're going to be there as like a buffer between management and ownership, but they're not going to have the final say. So finding out that Johnson is reporting to Henrik and Daniel and Henrik report to ownership. And I like the clarity from Drance, and this is why I quote him and I source his material a lot. He said, so that's Francesco Aquilini, and he said ownership. Reason I bring that up is because Dax Aquilini, the nephew of Francesco, was brought in for all of the in-person interviews.
That's what I heard
from the Aquilini family.
Yes,
was from my understanding and what I've been reading was very much more the new age input,
which isn't a bad thing. Kind of gave that outside perspective, let's say, because Francesco has been so hands-on and in the trenches with the Canucks for so long that bringing someone within the ownership group that has a vested interest but hasn't been in the trenches, so to speak, the weeds, that he's been able to give a better business decision rather than a, well, this is personal to me. Well, too bad.
Well, and
It's
even
not personal. It
no,
shouldn't
it's
be personal.
It's business. You know
Right?
what? You might have thought Gold was the best person in the world, and you'd love to go have a drink with him. But
Yes.
Ryan Johnson's might be a better GM in the long run. Okay, then you
Exactly.
have to go with Johnson because you're running a business. You're not trying to make friends.
Pretty simple. Pretty simple.
If the writing on the wall runs as I expect it to be, the next announcement from the Canucks will be that Manny Malhotra will be your new coach. Adam Foote will be relieved of his duties, and Manny Malhotra.
You know, and I keep in the back of my head is like, did I miss something? Has Adam Foote been fired?
I think he only had a 1-year contract, and he might have had a 2-year contract, but
he hasn't been let go yet.
No, because they fired the GM right after the season, so they're. I do like that they're letting the GM get in place before hiring a coach. I think they learned.
GM should be picking the coach, should he not?
Oh, I mean, you would think. Otherwise, you have the Bruce Boudreau, Patrick Alvin incidents, right? Where it's like he's not my guy, but he's here, so I have to deal with this.
So this is a great question, and people can see it up on the screen, but I'm going to highlight it here. So if you guys are running the Canucks right now, what's your number one job for you? Lock up a premier goalie, go after a quality D-man. And then he says, I don't think offense is an issue. I'm going to disagree with that last statement, but what is your first, like, obviously the draft is coming up is quite quick. Like, it's not that far away. You got a brand new crew in there. They've got to decide, what are they going to do? Do they, and I mean, obviously it comes down to what Toronto does, then what San Jose does, and then we get our decision. What are you looking for? Are you looking for a D? Are you looking for that center?
I'm not looking for D. I'm looking for forwards of any type. I think you're picking. I mean, in all honesty, I think if you have a list and you have, let's just say, Carl's as number 3, and then from the scouts' perspective, there's a huge drop off between that 3 and your 4-5.
Yeah,
I think at this point in your rebuild phase, you're taking best player available.
Yes,
I think it doesn't matter if it's a forward, a goalie, a defenseman, a chicken fried wing. You pick the best player available. I think positional drafting is going to be for the likes of San Jose, which is why I think there is a chance that we will get a Verhoff or a McKenna, because San Jose needs a premier defenseman.
Well, and it's funny because the more I've dug into this, I'm starting to agree with you. Toronto and San Jose. Is it San Jose? Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. The Sharks.
They both are in a win now. They aren't in a rebuild.
Well, San Jose is just coming out on the back end of a rebuild. To me, they're at that step where we should be by 2031.
Right, but I mean, if you bring in a McKenna 2 to 3 years, maybe even 4 years before he's really at his prime, that window might have passed San Jose. Definitely has passed Toronto. Toronto's like way past that point. They're 10 years past that.
But I think if you're looking at it from Toronto's perspective, you could talk yourself into, okay, well, we've got Austin Matthews for another year at least, I believe. You bring in McKenna, and now you've got the perfect mentor-mentee relationship. And even if Matthews says in 6 months, no, it's not for me, like I want to go win somewhere else. Well, now you have your rebuild center piece, right?
but they're in a win now, and you can tell the way they're going about it. And do they need another superstar forward? I don't think they do.
I think it'd be silly to say no team needs a superstar forward.
I'm convincing myself that they're going to pass on him, and San Jose is going to pick a defenseman. And guess what? Calgary, go away. We're taking McKenna.
So
I will get goosebumps and probably cry.
So in all reality, let's assume let's go through and assume
McKenna's
that
gone.
McKenna and Verhoff are gone.
Then do we go for Malhotra if Malhotra is our coach?
If he's so that's where I'm thinking is how quickly do you get a coaching announcement or a lack of coaching announcement? Is it just play out Adam Foote for another year,
right?
Run out his contract, right? And I think to me that would deserve a statement from the team is that we have all from Ryan Johnson. Look, I've worked with Adam Foote the past year with between Abbotsford and the Vancouver Canucks. We love what he's been able to do, and we're sticking with him because then it'll just kibosh all the rumors, and then it allows you to if that situation occurs, okay, well now Manny maybe he can go to Toronto if you pick Malhotra, or if you're looking at it and you're like, we're not going to pick Caleb, well then maybe you do call it. You know what I mean? There's so many different things, but I think coaching needs to be sorted out first before you can even look at the Malhotra situation. That's the only one that's there.
Now, Jason and Red Deer were kind of picking on him. We're actually not picking, but we're actually going to him a lot because he has some really good points. Regardless if the Leafs don't need a superstar forward, they'd be stupid not to take McKenna, even to use as a bargaining chip. How about, why wouldn't they go, you know what? What can we get for this number one pick?
Yeah.
Can we go to the Canucks and say, what are you willing to give up?
You give up. We'll do the first and third plus whatever we're asking for. What like, you know what I mean? Like,
can we give him a Jake DeBrusk? Yeah.
I could see that, right? Like I could see DeBrusk waving to go there, and I think he'd actually do very well in that scenario where he can be a power play specialist, play second, third line minutes.
Yes.
Or could you swing a 50% retention on PD?
Why wouldn't you?
Right?
If you're given the opportunity, if I'm in charge and I'm given the opportunity to get that first pick overall and have to retain 50% and give up a pick or two, I'm taking it.
Would you give up the third overall for PD and 50% retained?
Would I give up a third overall to get first?
So the trade would be first overall to Vancouver Canucks. To Toronto would be the third overall, and Elias Pettersson at 50% retained.
Hell yes, done.
Sign
me up.
That's so much money.
Here's the fucking wheelbarrow full of cash. Let's fucking go.
See, I would almost look at it and say, okay, you want the 50% retention? Here's Minnesota's first round pick.
You could try. They're probably not going to go for that because they're probably.
But then, to me, I don't think the 50% retention for 7 more years. That's $6.5–7 million almost.
What if it was 25%? Would that change it?
Yeah, I would do 25%. Yeah. See, and that's the thing. Like, there's always a solution.
50% for 3 years.
No, you can't.
Why?
That's the CBA's. It's written that way. You can retain, but it has to be for the full length of the contract.
Oh, that sucks. They should change that.
Sure. I don't think it's ever come up because most of the time when you sign a superstar to an $11.76 million deal for 8 years, they don't go invisible. Yeah, Jason's got a point.
Yeah, you guys are assuming Peterson is still worth something. Yeah, we are. And is he? Yeah, I think he is.
I think there's some value. I don't think there's.
I
as
think
much value as
King
I would
will
put on him.
take the chance on him if the Canucks are willing to. Oh, has it gone down? Definitely. I mean, if he had scored 50 goals like he's capable of, or even 30 goals, 40 goals like he's capable of instead of 10, I don't know how many goals he scored this year. It wasn't a lot. Then we'd be having a different conversation. And we wouldn't be in freaking dead last either. So,
15
his stock's
15 goals
definitely
this year.
gone. How many?
15.
Yeah, so I was close with 10. I wasn't far off, just taking a shot in the dark. Anything else on the Canuckers?
No, I really got nothing else.
I know you've been out of the loop, so I don't know how closely you've been following the playoffs, but the Minnesota Hugheses are done.
They are.
I mean, sorry. The quitter is no longer playing. So maybe it wasn't his teammates that can't get by the second round. Just saying. I stole that off Wyatt on Twitter.
They had a 3-0 lead after the first.
Yeah.
And you lose. Like that to me, that doesn't show any, like, I don't think you can really point at Minnesota and say, hey, you're bad. That just shows how good Colorado is.
Exactly. I think Colorado's I think my pick now to win the cup.
Yeah. I think I would love to see, I know it's a tough series that Buffalo's in right now with Montreal, but I would love to see a Buffalo Colorado final.
See, I'd like to see Montreal just being a Canadian. I'd love to see Montreal. Also, going away from the NHL, have you followed? Oh, sorry.
Can we stay with the Canucks for just 1 second? Did you see any or hear any of the follow-up from Max Sasson's interview?
No.
I can't remember where it was, and my computer is not good enough for me to be able to look things up while we're also live.
That's my computer, isn't it?
Yeah, basically.
I got a new one.
Right? The interview, or along the lines, Max Sasson said, for my first year and a half in Vancouver, it was kind of, and I'm paraphrasing a little bit. People were being catty and cliquey, and the last half year has really felt like we could be ourselves and has kind of brought everyone together.
Isn't that awesome?
Who is left in that 6 months that he was talking about? Well, it wasn't Tyler Myers, because Tyler Myers was there until the trade deadline. Miller was gone well before that. PD's still around. So I wonder if the captain was ineffective at being captain.
Wonder if that was the issue.
Look, I think he is, and I will say this to the day I die, he is one of the best players in the world. He's not the best defenseman. He is one of the best skaters in the NHL right now. But is he a captain? I don't think so.
Well, and it's funny because you bring that up, and I look at the chat and I see Jason up in Red Deer says, in my honest opinion, the Canucks were sunk when they traded JT Miller. I don't agree. I think JT Miller had to go after the chaos that he caused.
But also,
I know for a fact the rumors we had heard are 100% true. I've had that verified. And so I have no use for JT Miller. Now, having said that, Quinn, our captain, and Miller wonder why.
But also,
same personality.
Keeping JT Miller, that's great. He's had a miserable season and a half or 2 seasons in New York. Oh, am I the issue, or are you the issue?
No, I'm the issue. It's really windy out here, so it's I lost connection.
Okay. JT Miller's not had a good season. It's not like he's gone to New York and been a 50 goal scorer and 100 points again.
Exactly.
That season that the Canucks had was lightning in a bottle.
Yep.
And you know what? That's fine. You're allowed to have that. Pettersson to be fair, Jason, Pettersson was in the center of it. It was caused by JT Miller.
Yes, he was the center of it because it was him that was, I'll say it, he was bullied. He was literally called names that nobody should be called in professional sports in front of your whole entire team.
In 2026, I think if this story had come out from the 70s, it would have been like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's normal. That's the way we talked back then. But you know what? I don't talk like that anymore because guess what? I grew and I've learned that that's not acceptable.
100%.
Unfortunately, there's still people out there that live that way, but hey, that's their choice.
Yes. But you want to transition into talking about, I'm assuming, the CFL and BC Lions?
CFL, you gotta love our CFL. So all kinds of rule changes have been happening. Everybody's aware of them. Have you been aware of the overtime rules that are coming in for this year?
I saw something briefly about the turning it into a shootout.
So like remember I was telling you how funny the UFL was when I was watching that game.
Wait. So you're saying that there's some alignment between the UFL and the CFL?
No.
Look, I want to go back. I'm going to go back to whenever it was, and when the rules were first announced, the Americanization or non-Americanization of the CFL, because I feel like I was the first person, and I'm going to stick to this story. I was one of the first people who said, look for a merge between the two leagues.
Well,
the more of these things that are happening, it's aligning so clearly in my brain.
I said it last week on the Rod Peterson show. I love the changes they're making, except for changing the field to 110 yards down to 100. I hate that part, but I like it pretty much like everything else. If they're not making these changes for the purpose of expansion, then these changes are ridiculous and stupid. You can call me a potato. You can call me whatever you want. This is called Americanizing our game and preparing to, and I'm starting to agree with Jake, oh God help me, the UFL and the CFL. The UFL suffering. They are suffering. If the CFL doesn't swallow them up, they are going to go away.
Or they'll need to be propped up by the NFL, which there's nothing wrong with that. The NFL has in the past subsidized the CFL during some rough times. So yes. I think the NFL appreciates other leagues.
So in getting back to the overtime, there will be no tie games in the CFL anymore. So they're going to do the 2 mini games like they have for years now. And then if it's still tied after the 2 mini games, they go to shootout.
2-point shootouts.
Field goal kicks? No, they're going to go to 2-point conversions from the 3-yard line back and forth until one team misses. And I enjoyed it when I was watching the.
It's entertainment.
Watching the UFL, I thought it was freaking unique, and I got a kick out of it. They went 7 times, I think, and it was exciting. Let's make this game more exciting. I don't mind it. I really don't. People are going to jump on it because, oh my God, change. How dare you change it? You're changing my game. The game has changed a lot over the years. And it took me a while to really come to terms with, we need to change in order to grow. Yeah. It's the only way we're going to grow. We're not going to grow in Canada. There's no money interest in Canada. Folks, if there was money interest in Canada, that growth would have happened. I have been a fan of this league for 60 years, 61 years. I probably came out of the birth canal with the CFL pumping through my veins. I can tell you, if one more person says, oh, but the Atlantic group, shut up. The Atlantic group's not going to happen. If it was going to happen, it would have happened.
It would have happened in the last 26 years that we've been talking about the Atlantic group that's going to put a team together.
Quebec would have happened.
See, I think I say because I think that there's a lot of new money in the world, and I think Canada has some of that. And I think there could be, to me, Atlantic Canada, I just can't see, especially just with all the rumors. There's two cities that I could see for expansion still, especially after Commissioner Johnston's remarks at Grey Cup. But Quebec City and Kelowna are the two that I think would be the most likely.
If that happens.
But if that happens, I think you need to expand by more than 2 teams. And your other expansions are into the States.
I am starting to agree with you, Jake. I think the UFL and the CFL will conglomerate, and it might be the AFC, NFC.
Yep. I think that's the most likely outcome.
Right?
I think by 2028, this time 2028, there'll be rumors of, well, let's align the season with the UFL, and then at the end of the season, let's have a best of 3 series with the Grey Cup winner and whatever the UFL championship is called. Right? And what you do from there is I don't know if it's me that's broken or you that's broken this time. What you do from there is you have a game in Canadian rules, game in UFL rules, and a hybridization of those rules, which would be what I would consider the initial trade-off or the initial rule set for the combined leagues. We might have lost the old man. I'm not too sure if he's gone, or if he's able to make it back. Checking my phone to see if he's messaged me to see. Again, I don't know if I'm still live. If anyone is out there watching, please let me know if I'm live. If the old man lost for everyone, but I'm just going to hide his picture away because it's kind of creepy looking. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, lots to talk about within the world of the CFL. There was one thing I wanted to bring up with the old man that I don't know if I'll be able to bring up. All right, I just got confirmation. The wind took out his powers. So thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you guys dealing with us throughout the technical difficulties right at the end there. But yeah, you got our live raw reactions of the official announcement that the Sedins are taking over as co-president of hockey operations, as well as Ryan Johnson. And it looks like the old man's back for a few seconds.
Hey, sorry about that. The power went out just as I expected. So I'm going to try to do this from my phone as best I can. It's really hard to see from this phone, but we're going to give it a shot.
Perfect. I was just asking everyone because I didn't know if it was a me connection issue or a you connection issue. So I was just in the process.
It definitely was a me.
Perfect. Hey, you know what? If it's, I just kept talking because I was like, I don't know if it's me. I don't know if it's you. If I come back rambling, it's fine. One thing I wanted to bring up before we wrap up, I was just in the process of it, but I wanted to ask you this question. Did you see the live interview in the UFL of a referee after a non-call on a pass interference?
No.
So they literally during the game or during a pause in the game, I think it was a commercial break. One of the reporters went over. Your video is frozen, by the way. Went over and interviewed the deep side official on the sidelines and asked, "Hey, like this is everyone's going to be having this question. What did you see and why didn't you throw your flag?" And he described. He was like, "This is what happened. This is what I saw. I did not throw the flag because I did not feel that it impeded the receiver in catching the ball. Therefore, it was not a penalty from my point of view." And it's one of those things. I was like, this is what we need in sports.
Oh, yes.
And it was a quick 30-second hit. This is what I saw. This is why I didn't throw the flag, and we move on with our lives.
Wow.
Right? It's
I like it.
I really enjoyed it, but
I'll have to go and look for that. I did not see that.
Anything else?
I am good, my friend. I am good.
Other than being powerless.
I'm powerless. Well, we have a generator, but it takes 5 minutes to kick on, so we won't be powerless for long.
Fair. fair. Well, if that's everything, we will wish you all goodbye. I'm glad we were able to jump in and react live to this because we weren't able to do a show yesterday. You were sick. I am working nights, so my days are all sorts of out of whack. But have yourselves a wonderful
Cool.
week and hope. What?
I said, cool. We'll see you next week.
Have yourself.